Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about transit Mars, sextile, or trine one's natal Venus. Now, when you have this transit, it could manifest in courage, action, initiative, drive, motivation, energy. This could be in harmony with your relationships, and I'm going to elaborate and expound on that. Well, the thing is, when you have this transit, it can be about really having the drive, the motivation, the energy to interact with your relationships for activities with them. If the say if the natal Venus is in Sagittarius, it could be with Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody those characteristics you could be doing. Really, it could be activities that are associated with sports, the outdoors, or religion, with some examples. And remember that Venus is about our relationships, but it's not just about romantic connections. It also includes significant and important friendships. And this is a time where you might be more willing to take the initiative to whether it's having a romantic connection or whether it's embarking on a new friendship at this time. It's also a time where you can express more courage and fortitude, I would say, in matters of the heart as well. Venus is about love, romance, where it's a time where you're more apt to take action in those matters, and not in a way where you're seen as overly forceful or aggressive, but just having the initiative and the drive to do so, and be able to again take the initiative on these matters more so than usual. Now, Venus is about what we love as well and what we enjoy, things that we can be enamored with. And if you have your natal Venus, say it's in Capricorn, those things you might love and enjoy could be things connected with structure. Could simply be putting die-cast models together, those little plastic cars. Could be mountain or rock climbing, maybe working with crafts. It could even be helping out with construction, even if it's just like a hobby or carpentry. And this is where you have again more of that energy. You'd likely have more of that energy and the drive, the vitality to do these things, having the enthusiasm. And some of you may wonder, well, how is this transit aspect differ from the conjunction, from transit Mars conjunct natal Venus? Well, they are similar, but when you have the transit Mars conjoining one's natal Venus, it's more intensified, and it could get to a point where, we have all that friction, where it's so intensified, it could be where it might be more all-consuming to the point where you're oblivious to a lot of other things, and that's not always good. Yes, that transit could give you a lot of energy in doing the things you enjoy and making money or what have you, but it's also to a point where sometimes the situation with romantic partners and significant friendships can be contentious because you do have that friction. Remember that conjunction is a neutral aspect, while in contrast the sextile or trine it's a positive flowing aspect. And another thing too is that, anatomically speaking, okay, Venus is associated with the throat, the neck, the thyroid, kidneys, and lower back. So it's a time where if you haven't done anything, if you have anything, connected with these issues, if you're having anything physical related problems with what I just described that's anatomically associated with Venus, and you haven't done anything about it as of yet, and you're procrastinating or hesitating and putting it off, what have you, this is a time where you're more likely than not to actually do something about it, really have that initiative, basically have the drive and motivation to take care of these issues. It may have reached a point where you know at this point in time where you have to do something about it, and it's really and courage can be involved in that, and to some degree, because it could be more acknowledging and facing up to those problems at this time. If it's something that you try to avoid or you downplayed or you can be something where now you can look at it more with courage and hit this problem head on and do something about it. Now, it's also a time, okay, because Venus is about, it's also about the food that we enjoy as well. And it's a time where it could be a time if you're involved in an intimate connection, you have a sexual relationship where you're more apt to be able to indulge in food with this person more so than usual, food that you enjoy, indulge in that food that you love. With this person, it could be a good time to going out to eat um, with a significant other at this time. It can also be, a time where the connection with this person might maybe more peaceful and tranquil, more so than usual. And it's also a time where Mars being connected with sports and physical strength. It's a time, very positive, auspicious aspect to be doing something athletic, sports related. You could be working out vigorously. You could be involved in something, some kind of, requires some kind of endurance. And it could be very positive for your self-worth at this point in time. If you have Sagittarius involved, it could be some sport involving like archery or darts. Some examples, or horseback riding. Gemini could be one, which involves I call quick-witted sports, quick responding, quick reaction sports like badminton or table tennis, as some examples. Now, this is also a time too where you have more, that drive and that motivation to be making money at this time. If you've been somewhat laxed or lackadaisical and you haven't felt like generating income, this could be more of an opportunity, more of a time where it's easier to do so than usual, less likely having any diversions or distractions in generating income at this time. And it's also about valuing your the sexual partners, and sex in general might be something that you value more. Um, and it can be a time where just Mars things in general, anything Mars related, whether it's action, initiative, being aggressive, it's something that you can strongly value and apply in your life at this time. Um, it's also a time where you can do activities in general and do and be more at peace and have, I'd say, less disruptions, less distractions than usual. It could simply be, relaxing. It could be meditating. It might be, it could be drawing, or if you have, natal Venus, say in Taurus or Libra, it could be some artistic endeavor. It could be something artistic anyway, regardless of sign, because Venus is associated with art. If you have your Venus in Pisces and some abstract form of art or something with fiction or fantasy. Now it's also a time too when you have this transit. It's more apt to, you may be more apt to take the initiative, have enterprise in matters of negotiation and compromise. If it's a time where something's been at a stalemate, so to speak, and you've had an issue with somebody, whether it's monetary, whatever it might be, this is the time where you'd be more apt to try to work out a solution, and you'd be willing to take the lead in those matters. Venus is also associated with legalities and lawsuits, so this could be a time, again, being with Mars being connected with action and initiative. It's a time where it might be a positive time if you've been, stalling or procrastinating on a lawsuit that you've been, thinking about. This is the time where you're more likely to take more decisive action on that matter. And it's also time to have the courage to do so as well. If it was really something where you felt you were really right and it's justified, you can rationalize filing a lawsuit against somebody, and it was just something where you were more in fear of the repercussions as a result of filing that lawsuit, this is the time where I would say fear could strike out, and you'd have more of the opportunity, more just the general urge and want to do this and not worry about possible ramifications. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back, but anyway. Now, anyway, another way this transit may manifest could be about having driving motivation, again, that's connected with Mars, to make money and generate income, which is Venus. Let's say, for example, if the natal Venus is in Virgo, it could be doing something with professional cleaning or organizing. It could be detailing vehicles if that still exists. Maybe it's defragging a computer, helping somebody out. Do so. It could be diagnosing a computer, diagnosing something such as a vehicle or a computer. Now, it could also be a time where it's auspicious to have the vitality, which is Mars, to do things that you love and enjoy, which is Venus. If the natal Venus is in Pisces, as an example, it could be something physical, which includes astrology, boating, fishing, dancing, poetry, photography, as some examples. Now, this could also be a time where a sexual partner, which is Mars, could be more in harmony with what you value, which is Venus. Now, let's say, for example, if the natal Venus is in Scorpio, it could be, you may value resourcefulness, resiliency, ability to transform, staying composed in a crisis. Now, it could also be a time where it could be auspicious to take action, which is Mars, again, in a lawsuit or legal matter, which is Venus. If the natal Venus is in Gemini, it could be a lawsuit associated with theft or forgery or plagiarism, as some examples. Now, this transit could also be propitious to take the initiative, which is Mars, in a relationship, which is Venus. If the natal Venus is in Cancer, it may be with a Cancerian sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that simply embodies those traits. It could be somebody that's very nurturing, caring, protective, introverted, and dominated by their home life, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.